So, as you may or may not be able to tell, I like coming here to photograph some beautiful landscape photography. But this is a different side of the Angeles National Forest. This is the other side. I usually shoot on that side. But today, I'm shooting a little bit of a different part of this forest. I actually came here before. I didn't realize I did, but I came here when it was really foggy and you couldn't essentially see anything. So today, hopefully, we're gonna get some incredible landscape photography. I'll be practicing with my telephoto lens, especially. But yeah, let's get on with the video. What's up, y'all? It's a Project Photography back into the video, and today I'm out here in the Angeles National Forest, and you can see just an incredible view. Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable here. This is the reason why I love coming back to this forest over and over, because you just don't get tired of these views, and plus it's so big that there's so much to explore. You'll never be able to explore it in a single lifetime. That's how big this forest is, and plus it's just insanely beautiful. So definitely don't mind coming back here over and over. But anyways, today we are going to be shooting some landscape photography as always, because this is a landscape photography channel, and I'm using my Nikon Z50 with my 50-250 f4.5-6.3. It's an incredible lens, incredible camera, and I think this is a good place to be able to test my landscape photography telephoto capabilities, because there's a lot of mountain tree here, and getting wide angle stuff is kind of hard because there's a lot of shrubbery in the way. As you can see, like, the background of it is beautiful, but there's just a lot of like random shrubbery that definitely does not add to the composition, makes it better. So I think this is a great place to test out this telephoto lens. Just practice some telephoto stuff, because I want to say about 90% of the time I'm using wide angle stuff, which is what I'm filming this on, my Nikon Z6. And the other 10% is telephoto stuff. So I want to be able to get a chance and use more telephoto stuff. But today is not going to be like a traditional landscape shoot where I go on a hike and all that. I'm using my car because, I don't want to really hike around here, just because I don't know, it's a little bit sketchy sometimes. But be driving around here, just seeing, what compositions can I get. At the end of it, I kind of want to find a main place that I want to kind of like sit at and just take some shots, wait for the sun to go down, all that crazy stuff. That's what we're planning on doing today. Just driving around, seeing what's out here, exploring a little, and shooting some landscape photography with my telephoto lens. So let's get right to it, guys. What's up, y'all? We're now behind the scene, behind the camera. Let me give you guys a little bit of my thought process on this landscape photography shoot. Like I said, mainly focusing on telephoto stuff. That's me shooting with my entire video, essentially. Right there, just shot a photo of the moon because I thought it was kind of cool. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, so I'm just really scouting around this area, driving around, seeing what's out here. I'm really be preparing for the final part of this video, where I find part what I want to shoot and really focusing on that aspect. Waiting for the sun to go down, all that good stuff. So right here, I feel like this is a really nice kind of composition, I want to get that peak in the background, and I just like this kind of like hazed look of the mountains. You kind of can see the layers. Kind of similar to one of our other previous photos that I really liked, but I think it just comes out really nicely, especially with the way these mountains are set up. So I'm just going to keep on going here. I don't take a lot of photos, but I take enough to the point where, I get a good idea of what this mountain range is like and what's around here. So let's get back to the video. So there's a few things that I kind of want to touch base on before I keep on driving. The first one is I have about an hour before I have to, start shooting and stuff, like actually shooting my photos, because sunset doesn't start until around 5:40. Thank goodness, because it's been getting like really early lately. At one point it was at like 4:30, which is kind of ridiculous. But anyways, so sunset's around, I want to say 5:45 or so. So I could be enough time to kind of drive around and look for different compositions. Secondly, these are the photos that I am looking for. These are the compositions that I shot. Obviously not the best lighting that I want, but that's kind of the idea that I'm going for, just to kind of give you guys a bit of a heads up there before I keep on going on. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just driving around in my car and seeing what's out there. So let's keep on going and seeing what compositions we can find. Alright, y'all, so we're now heading more into sunset. It's around, I want to say, about 20 minutes out from sunset, give or take. I'm not sure, but I'm just taking a few more test photos. You know, this is kind of the idea that I'm going for. Obviously, I want better lighting, but this is the general idea, like I said in my previous part. I think it looks really nice. And while I'm here, might as well get a few photos with the sun in the background. It's kind of hard to expose for it because just how overwhelming the sun is, but it looks pretty nice with that orange kind of look. And again, you get that layered kind of feel of the mountains, kind of the haze look. I like it a lot. Going to a different part of the composition, just shooting a little bit of a different photo. This time I zoomed out a bit, just to see, you know, what the difference would be. This is one thing with the telephoto that I think is much different from a wide angle, is that not only are the compositions much more simple, but you got to see the different perspectives of shooting more zoomed in or less zoomed in, give or take. See right there, this photo is zoomed out, where the previous photo was more zoomed in, so you can just see the difference in composition right there, and it really does make a big difference. So testing out what works and what doesn't is definitely crucial, because you never know what works until you actually shoot the photograph. So right here I moved over a little bit more to the left hand side, just to see how it would change the composition. Right there, the kind of foreground is the road, kind of the cliff side on the left hand side, and just seeing how the layers stack up is pretty nice, and I think it definitely gives it a different kind of feel and look. And like I said in the previous part, you know, this is a photo that's more zoomed in. You're just going to see the different kind of look and composition there. So we keep on going here. Heading back to my car and heading to the last part of the video. Alright y'all, so I just finished taking my test photos and man, they look incredible. I can't wait to see what the sun is going to look like, or just the lighting when the sun goes down. It's going to be really, really nice. So I picked my place. I think it's going to be here, around this area. The one that you just saw me taking some test photos at. I think this is perfect. There was another place that I really liked, kind of like around the corner over on that side. But I think I'm going to stick to here because I think it's going to look really, really good. And there's no need to kind of like go around and just try to be all over the place is what I'm saying. So it's going to be really nice. I'm really excited. One thing that I'm going to definitely be focusing on is my telephoto stuff. There is about 2 compositions I want to get with my wide angle, but after that's done, I'm really focusing on my telephoto stuff just to make sure I hone that in, get the right photos, and I think it's going to be really great. So yeah, let's just wait till the sun goes down and take some amazing landscape photography. So now we're heading to the last part of the video. As you can see, the sun has gone down quite significantly. So this time we're making sure that, you know, I find the composition that I want and go ahead and shoot what I'm thinking about. So when the time comes right, the sun is good, then we get some nice photos. So right here, I'm actually shooting a panorama. I thought it'd be really interesting, considering, you know, how far down this kind of like, I want to say valley goes. I don't know what to call it, but as you can see right here, this is the different photos that I shot for the panorama. In a little while, you see the actual stitched version. This is the actual photo, like edited, completely edited, colors and everything, stitched panorama. It looks really nice. I turned a 20 megapixel camera, and this is, I think, around a 50 megapixel image. And man, when you zoom in, you can definitely see the difference. But I really like this photo a lot. This is one of my favorites for sure. Just the way the colors are. And this time, I kind of want to take a different approach. I wanted to show a little bit of the detail in the foreground. I'll show that valley, and I think it's pretty nice. I think it came out really well. So we can keep on going here. Learning how to use a telephoto lens is pretty crucial. You know, you get to do a lot of different things. Like for this shoot, I shot a lot of HDR. I also shot a lot of panoramas, so I think it makes a big difference. This is a photo that I feel like would be... So this photo is essentially what I would be shooting if I did not take a panorama. I shoot it just in case, you know, the panorama doesn't work out. I at least have something. But yeah, this is a general idea that I was going for. So we're just going to keep on moving on here. I'm trying to get a little bit different composition, see what I can work with, see what's different. This is another composition that I think is going to be really crucial. This is another composition that I shoot much later in the video with better lighting, and you'll see it's going to come out really nicely. So right here, I'm kind of taking more of a sweeping panorama, just shooting left to right mainly. I just want to see, you know, what can I get with these different sorts of views. I'm not able to use my wide angle lens because, like I said, there's a lot of shrubbery in the foreground. Don't like that. So I'm shooting a more of a panorama, going side to side with the telephoto. And I mean, it does come out pretty nice, but it's not something that, you know, I would want to edit. It looks pretty decent, but I think there's much better compositions. I think more vertical photos definitely work better for this type of landscape, since everything is moving more in a vertical orientation. So right here, I'm doing a little bit of some micro adjustments. Right here is where I actually switch over to HDR photos. So HDR is essentially taking 5 photos at 5 different exposures, stitching them together in Lightroom. So you essentially get almost infinite dynamic range. You get a ton of dynamic range. As you can see in these next series of photos, I take a few sets of HDR photos just because, you know, lighting changes. Also maybe change the composition a little bit. But right here you can see those colors are really nice. They're coming in really good. Settling down in terms of lighting, it really makes a difference. And this is right here what you get to do with an HDR photos. You have a lot of dynamic range at the top, a lot of dynamic range at the bottom with the shadows and highlights, and it just looks really good. You get less noise, and it's just a much cleaner image overall. So, but you can only really use HDR photos when the actual subject you're photographing is stable and not moving. So that's why mountains make a perfect subject for HDR photos. So I'm just going to be taking a few more photos. I want to try a few more HDR photos. This is probably, this is an HDR photo that I was shooting right here. Same composition as before, but like I said, shooting in an HDR fashion. And I think it comes out pretty nicely. This is an edited version, by the way. If I did not shoot a panorama, this is a daily what I want to shoot is an HDR photo of this. But this is the end of actually me shooting. So these are the 2 photos that I really liked. So this is the second composition that I took that's in HDR. It looks really nice. I like when I edited it, I want to make sure I got nice and not necessarily like overwhelming tones, but a little bit more muted, a little bit more subtle, and I think it comes out really nice. I don't want to overpower the different kind of elements in the photo. I want to make sure the colors are nice and even. This second photo right here is the panorama. I think it looks really good again. I mean, you can kind of see the lay of the land, the valley. I think that's what comes with shooting a panorama, something like this. You just get a really unique aspect ratio, really unique photo, and I think it comes out really good. So let me know what you guys think of these photos. Let me know what you guys think of the way I shot today. Definitely a different type of shooting, but telephoto photography is definitely fun, and I like doing it. But too bad I can't really use it as much because, you know, I use my wide angle like much more of the time, like 90% of the time. So anyways, guys, let's get back to the video. Oh man, it is cold. I was not expecting that, although I probably should have. Anyways, guys, I am done shooting for the day. I took quite a few photos. I took a few HDR photos. That's why you saw me in bursts of 5. I also took a panorama, but I think the HDR photo might be better because just the way like the lighting was, you know, I want to make sure I get the most dynamic range possible. But I'm just gonna go back to the studio and see what's up. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed what I had going on here. Telephoto lenses did really well today. The 50 to 230 or 250, 50 to 250 Nikon Z lens, pretty good lens. I love it. Even though it's a kit lens, does pretty good. I've also started selling my photo prints, so if you're interested in one, link is in the description bar below. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.